Oh, yeah. Oh, hi. Welcome to the Mac Mac Show on rmconair.com. And we are your hosts,
Paula Chamalea
and
Chanel
and Mamselle. So today in our first series, look at the African diaspora or our family portrait, we're going to be looking at Cuba. Now, African diaspora basically means it's any community around the world that is descendant from the historic movement of peoples from Africa. So like anywhere where there's anyone that's a descendant of Africa, meaning if you even have just one drop of African blood in you, then you are part of the African diaspora. And so the first place we're going to look at today in the series is Cuba. Cuba. All right, let's listen to what's considered as a Cuban anthem by Buena Vista Social Club.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a song by Compay Segundo and Buena Vista Social Club.
Si te gusta.
That was really great. And so, like, basically, this song was a Cuban anthem. I mean, every time you hear this song, you would think about Cuba.
for the love of his country.
Yep.
All right.
And, you know, it's a beautiful song. It's can, like they pronounce it. And, like, that's the thing. Like, in Cuba, for instance, if you were, or the rest of the world, if you were to make every person that even had one drop of African blood disappear, you know how many people that would be?
Wow.
There would be people who didn't even know
Wow.
that they had.
They're gone.
I think a lot of people would not even know.
Yeah.
You know, and we're all to like end up like on just somewhere else.
And like, well, I'm here.
What would happen? Every contribution that we made to the world, I mean, if all that stuff, everything was to disappear. Like,
Yeah. Then you know.
what would happen? There'd be like skyscrapers falling out of nowhere. There'd be like all the boats, and I mean, if you think about it,
Everything- Yeah, everything would just like disintegrate.
yeah, it's crazy. And that's the thing. Like, so in 1492,
Wow.
Christopher Columbus.
Yeah.
Christopher Columbus got lost
Yeah. Again.
and landed on Cuban shores, and it's been downhill ever since.
So looking for America and all that.
Everywhere he went, this man-
was lost.
This man, I don't know who's worse, this man or like, I mean, really, to native peoples, he was like Hitler.
Yeah.
I mean, everywhere he went, they bring disease,
Yeah.
Wow.
They brought
You know?
all that. They brought destruction. He brought
destruction,
with him.
everything.
Yeah.
You know,
And tried to name
not a good
everything.
thing. They tried to teach us that he was.
Like he was such a great
Right.
guy and knew where he was going.
No,
It's
no.
just the opposite. Only thing he named, that you can say he named the Pina, the Nita, and
In the Santa Maria. You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so in 1527, you know, just when you thought it wasn't bad enough, because you know they tried to get the the people there
Yeah.
to be slaves, to do all the work,
Okay.
but you know that wasn't going well.
That wasn't gonna go down like
Because
that.
they were like, no, we're just gonna sit here, we're not gonna do anything. We don't care
If
what
you
you
can't
do,
do
we're
it,
not moving.
I'm not gonna do it.
And they were killing a lot of them off.
Yeah.
With all they brought rats on the ships with. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what they have that saying, rats abandon ship.
Yeah.
You know,
So that's where it comes from.
yeah, rats and
Okay.
diseases and everything, and so they killed off a lot of the populations that were already there, the native peoples. So they had to bring in somebody to do the work because they weren't going to do the
They
work,
weren't gonna do it. No.
you know. So they brought in a lot of slaves from Africa, like especially from, like Nigeria, that area, Yoruba peoples, and so let's take a look at the island of Cuba. And here's a new song here's a song by Celia Cruz. It's called La Negra Tiene Tumbao.
Esa negrita que va caminando, esa negrita tiene su tumbao. Y cuando la gente la va mirando, ella baila de lado. Bien apretado, apretado, apretado. La negra tiene tumbao. Azúcar, azúcar. Y no camina de lado. Si quieres llegar derecho, mejor camina de frente para que no hayan tropiezos y vengas y te lamentes. Si quieres llegar primero, mejor se corre despacio. Disfruta bien de la vida, cariño, aunque tomando medidas. Azúcar, la negra tiene tumbao, y no camina de lado, y no camina de lado, y no camina de lado. La negra tiene tumbao, ay, tumbao, nunca camina de lado, nunca camina de lado, de lado. Tiene tumbao, tiene tumbao. Cuando te decía no camina de lado. Tiene tumbao, tiene tumbao. Cuando la gente se muere, ay Dios mío, se dice que era tan buena, tan buena cuando vivía, como la noche y el día. ¿Tú crees que a mí me vengan a decir la verdad? No aguanto ya más mentiras, siempre lo mismo, disfruto bien de la vida.
All right, that was Celia Cruz, the diva of Cuba. I mean, this woman was just ridiculous. She sang until she was in the grave.
That's right.
You know, this was like the
That was her
big,
passion.
huge star. She's like kind of like their Aretha Franklin, but like bigger. You know, and she just, you know, this song La Negra Tiene Tumbao. I believe it means the black girl's got booty. something working back there. What do you think, Chanel? What do you think that she's talking about in this song?
Wow.
She got
She thought she
something.
says, wow.
She got something. Homegirl's got something. She's
Yeah,
working with
look,
something.
She doing something. She got top or bottom.
Yeah.
She working with it.
So, you know, that's, I mean, hey, like you said, Cuba, a lot of people don't, I don't know why, they don't think, like, some people don't even think that you have people of color like that
Yeah.
in other places outside the
And
U.S.
that's weird. Well, I don't even see why a person would even think that. I mean, you know, because just
You know, this is like the last stop kind of.
Yeah.
Like,
Last-
last
last call
station,
for
last
alcohol or
station.
something, huh?
Yeah.
Last
You
house
know.
on the block.
Yeah. And so anyways, this next guy is Benny Moré. Now this guy was huge. I mean, this guy was like, I can't even tell. Imagine like Frank Sinatra or something. I mean, he was huge, and he played in all the like top places. He even came to the States, and yeah, but most people didn't know.
He was
But,
big in his home country.
Exactly. I think a lot of people didn't even think that he would be a brother.
Okay.
When he, you know, when they saw him, they were like, oh, well, you don't know if you can play this venue. You know, they thought he was like a Ricky Ricardo type.
Okay.
They had no idea that, yeah, that he looked like that. And anyways, I also want to talk about, like, when the slaves first got there to Cuba. They got there in 1527. And so we've been there for a long time.
Yeah. Since the 1920s. Look that up.
Well, 1527, that's a little further, a lot further. That's like
since 1520. Yes,
1520. That's how many years,
Yeah.
Chanel? You think?
Wow.
Can you do the math? I can't do it right now. I'm like not thinking straight, but 1527, that's like what? It's 500, it's almost 600 years? 1527, 2015. That's a long
Do some
time.
math. That's the, yeah,
Then who's gonna do the math?
Who's
Who
gonna do the somebody do the math.
Okay, we'll do the math and we'll let you guys know we come up with the end of the show.
Right back with you on that.
Okay. But you know, slaves were brought there to basically pick cotton at first,
Tobacco
and then tobacco and sugar.
coca leaves.
Yeah, sugar, because sugar was their huge product for Cuba. Like they were number one. At that time, they ran everything because they had, you know, they're making the top dollars. It was like oil today,
Yeah.
you know, and they would do this thing called distillery, where you would take the sugar and they would turn into liquid form by cooking it, boiling it, and then once that's done, then you have to distill it, which is distillation.
Yeah, with the hoses, almost
Yep.
like gas, and then
Bunsen
rotates
burners and
all
stuff.
that burning, yeah.
It's the act of purifying a liquid
Purify, it comes
by heating it and cooling it. So you heat it, you get a certain temperature, and then you cool it, and then you let it like crystallize or whatever the chemicals like take form, and then you reheat it again. It's like nonstop heating, cooling. So can you imagine working in those sugar plantations, and then you got to go in a factory and like be cooking? Man,
Oh.
I'd be sleeping. They would see me swimming. I'd be swimming halfway.
That would be. I'm tired already.
I would be halfway swimming back to Africa.
Yeah.
But yeah, sugar. I mean, rum is huge, and I'm sure one had Bacardi or Havana Club, different types of rum, even Captain Morgan.
That's what they make moonshine from. You know.
Well, moonshine it's the same type of process.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
what they make moonshine from.
And
That's how
Chanel,
they
you
do
know,
it.
even when they make perfume, they use that process too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they do it with plants like flowers and stuff like that. Yeah, distillation.
Wow.
Yep.
Nice to know.
And let me see. And next, the next song we have is called Orchestra Aragon, and they were a big group. They were one of my dad's favorite groups when he was growing up. They're old. They're from like the 50s.
Okay.
Yeah. And this song is called Nosotros. I don't know exactly what it means, but it means us. Okay, well that makes
That
sense.
makes it even better, huh?
See, that makes sense.
Yes, us.
All right, that was a good choice then. Okay.
Very good.
All right. And let me see. And then you have the whole tobacco industry with cigars, of which, what do you have there?
My cigar.
You got your cigar, your Cohiba?
Yes.
Cohiba?
Yes.
You know those are illegal here, right? You gonna get us in trouble. You gonna get us in trouble. I'm gonna turn into a canary and sing.
Please don't let get the canary some liquor or something.
You know? And so yeah, the tobacco industry also the Cubans, I don't know, something about the soil that they have there is so rich that the cigars, they have like a flavor, like almost sweetness, you know? And it wasn't like bitter. Let me smell, let me see. That smells great.
I believe it smokes great also.
Yeah. And so the thing about Cuba is, did you show the tobacco? Okay. The thing is that they would have these factories where people would roll the tobacco, like they dry it up. You know how they dry tobacco?
Yeah.
You have to hang the leaves
hang
up.
them and let them
Yeah.
dry. Yep.
So they get dry, like
Yeah.
kind of like potpourri.
Like this.
Yeah. And then they roll them down, and
Then
they
they
roll
roll
them, and they use just like that. And they have like this type of like knife, like a, what do you call it, like a spatula. And then they would just like, they would use like
Is it like
a
the
type of like glue, not a glue, but like a type of like gum or some type of like consistency like that, like petroleum, like Vaseline.
yeah, so it is
Yeah,
stick,
and then they would just like rub
roll
it and then like add more leaves and do that, and then they would just roll it up
Roll it up.
eventually. Yeah.
you have
And
a cigar.
you see that old woman right there? Smoking that cigar.
Wow.
That thing is, she is
Hey,
not
mama.
That
playing.
is.
Hey, mama.
That's like you right there.
Hey, mama.
Yeah. And then you saw the picture. Yeah, there you go. The woman on her inner thighs.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you about that. In Cuba, if you were like a really well-respected man, like really extremely macho, like it made you more macho if you smoked a cigar that was rolled on the inner thighs of especially like a virgin.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Because they would think like the essences, the
Okay.
what do you call it?
Purity
The
and all that.
what do you call those things that we emanate from our bodies? The pheromones or something with the essence of the girl would get into the cigar.
Okay.
So yeah, and it's very rare. It's not cheap. Those type of cigars, like
Yeah,
you really have
I know
to.
they're not.
You got it, because first they got to find one. And these days they're not really running
My
around.
mom used to bring them back.
You know,
I can't tell that. Shh.
exactly. And then this is Gloria Estefan, Mi Tierra. Now, if anyone's heard of her, she is originally from Cuba, like her people, and from Miami. And she was in this group called Miami Sound Machine that we all remember. Yeah. And so this is, she's like known to be a Cuban activist and a lot of things like that.
Okay.
And she's very well known, and she does a lot of things in the Cuban American community in Miami.
All right.
And she's one of my idols because she's just amazing. Yeah.
Cuando tú no estás, la tierra te empuja de raíz y cal. La tierra suspira si no te ve más. La tierra donde naciste no la puedes olvidar, porque tiene tus raíces y lo que dejas atrás. La tierra te duele, la tierra te da en medio del alma cuando tú no estás. Siguen los pregones.
Okay, everyone, we are back, and next we're gonna talk about voodoo
Voodoo, voodoo.
or hoodoo, whatever you want to call it. This is something that the blacks brought.
Yeah.
Africans brought from Africa,
With all the tribes,
religious
they had a
beliefs.
witch doctor or
Exactly.
something,
But
yeah.
of course, you listen to the missionaries and the Western churches and everything, and it's devil worship, you know. But
They had a lot of
This
that
is
back
the-
south too.
exactly, this is like the beliefs Africans brought from Africa. You can take everything from a person, you can put them in chains, but you cannot force them to think. You cannot control what they're thinking.
No, you can't.
No, a lot of people think they know what people are thinking.
But
They
no,
even
they
say,
don't.
"Oh, you think this," or "You."
think that? Yeah, I know how you think. No, you don't.
You have no idea what I'm thinking right now. What I'm thinking right now is you need to
I
have the
already know
knowledge.
how I think. So
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah. And we're going to show, this is a Santeria Okun Oshun. And this is basically a voodoo ceremonial dance. So here we go.
Masagaria,
corazón le quiere dar toda la negrita, ya de electrizar, toda la negrita.
And so here is the Yoruba Santeria ceremony to Okun Oshun, which is a big god in Santeria tradition. And it's basically the voodoo, just another word for it. And this is from Cuba, from Santiago de Cuba. And as you can see, they're like doing a dance to get the god's attention.
Okay.
You know, because they're real busy. So you got to do things.
Yeah, you got to do things to get his attention.
Yeah. You got to either like
Not
leave
very
a
much.
sacrifice for them to
Yeah.
appease them, to either
Sometimes it
feed
will
them.
be human sacrifices in some cases.
Wow.
Depends on what they're into, I guess.
Yeah, depending on what they're into, but a lot of them, you know, they had human sacrifices
Yeah.
or chicken, ducks, or whatever. But it's always something they had
Exactly.
to offer to the gods.
Yeah.
It's almost
blood
like the
is life,
Mexican
so-
Day of the Dead, Day of the Living.
Yeah. And so this playing right now, this is Celia Cruz again. And this is Kimbara.
La rumba me está llamando. Bongo, dile que ya voy. Que se espere un momentico mientras canto un guaguancó. Dile que no es un desprecio, pues vive en mi corazón. Mi vida es tan solo eso, rumba buena y guaguancó. Mamá, mamá. Azúcar. Si quiere gozar, si quiere bailar, quimbara, cumbara, cumba, quimbamba. Ahí lo baila María y también Joseito, quimbara, cumbara, cumba, quimbajito. Quimbara, 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 mi cuba, cumba, quimbara, cumbara, cumba, quimbara, cumbara, cumba, quimbamba. Quimbara, cumbara, cumba, quimbara, cumbara, quimbara, cumbara, quimbara, cumbara, cumba, quimbara, cumbara, cumba, quimbara, cumbara, cumba, quimbamba. Ahí lo baila Teresa también Joseito y quimbara, cumbara, cumba, quimbajito, quimbara, cumbara, cumbara, cumba, quimbamba. Ay, quimbara, 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 mi chupa, cumba, quimbara, mi chupa, cumba, quimbara, 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 quimbamba. Ajá.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about voodoo. Now, for instance, like one thing I know is like, let's say you have an uncle, right, who's passed on to great beyond. He's up there with the gods and everything, and his favorite dish was like fried chicken.
Right.
Now you want to get a job, right?
So,
Okay, or you want to get a woman or whatever. You want to win the lot or whatever. But let's say like you go, like you make some fried chicken the way he liked it, and you just like put that as an offering.
Offering to the gods.
So then in the hopes that he'll be like, okay, so he'll go eat that and then go to the gods and be like, you know, my
present
niece,
your case.
you know, she's a good girl. Like you really gotta,
She needs
exactly.
the help and
Yeah, a lot of times you're just speaking to lawyers. Like you're trying to get through, you know. Yeah, you're trying to get through.
I had an aunt that did witchcraft. She believed in
Yeah.
it, you know. So she had the whole work. She
Yeah.
had dolls. And at one time, I was in high school. I went through that phase
Yeah.
of doing the witchcraft thing. You know, I had all
Wow.
the books. Okay, and I tried to bring back Jimi Hendrix. So I did
Hendrix.
little seances and stuff like that, you know.
You know what you should have had, so he would have
So
definitely
I know
come back.
some
You should
purple
have-
haze is on.
So, an offering of, you know what?
Yeah, but I had a few friends over, and we was in my room, and I'm like,
Yeah.
let's go to it. And we did the whole thing. You know,
Yeah.
I had my dolls and
Yeah.
had this, and had a little dish with incense in it.
Yeah.
I did the whole ceremonial thing. I'm like, duh, 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 duh. But you know what? It may sound funny, but maybe just the way he came to us. He came all of a sudden. I just said, well, let's forget to turn TV on, and they had a thing about Jimi Hendrix. They did his biography.
So he came to you in a
he
way,
came to me
to
in
the
that
TV.
way,
It's
to the
never
TV.
how you think.
And I'm like, oh my God. But then, you know, I'm like, damn, you know, and then I didn't,
Yeah.
like, put two and two together then until a little later on. I said, that was how he came, you guys, on TV. I said, I didn't know he was coming on. Okay.
Yeah, didn't mean he was going to come in the flesh. I mean,
Yeah.
that might not have been too
But coming on
sanitary.
TV, that's how he came to me. They did
Yeah.
an autobiography of Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Yep.
And,
So-
so it's like,
Let me
imagine,
tell it, it works a little, I guess.
and what do you think about that little voodoo doll, Chanel? Isn't it cute? A little heart on it.
Oh my.
That's adorable.
Yeah,
It looks like a preschool doll, like something you would give.
So you know that heart is for when a woman is feeling bad, or even if it's a man that's doing the voodoo thing, they feeling like their significant other is doing something that against them or falling out of love. So
Exactly.
if their heart is broken, they gonna break their heart and they just stick
Wow.
it, bam, bam,
Exactly.
bam, bam.
Or you could also do it to
Or in
help
the feet.
someone if
Yeah,
someone
you
has
could.
health problems in a certain area.
Yeah.
Wow.
it goes-
Really?
It can go both ways.
There's
You can
good and
heal.
bad in everything.
Yeah, you can heal and you can destroy.
Whatever you put out, you get back 3 times.
But what's the consequence of that happening to you?
What? Of if you do it, anything can happen
Yeah,
to.
anything. And listen,
That's
she
why,
she
yeah.
did it to you.
That's why you do a lot of protection spells to protect yourself.
That's what you got. You got to learn the antidote.
Yeah. Because if the main thing is people think it's all people worshiping the devil and stuff,
but it's not.
it's just people trying to better their lives and
I
get
want-
love
I
or
wanted to see Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix, right? See, you have proof he came to you
Yeah,
that
he
night.
did. He came on TV.
It doesn't mean you have no control how he's gonna
That's
come.
right. How it's gonna come. You never know how.
Better on TV than like him busting
Standing
through,
up there,
or coming out from under your bed or
start
something.
singing, guitar singing,
Busting
and
out your
the wind
closet
cries
playing the
Mary or
guitar.
something, Yeah.
You would have ran out that house
I don't know.
if you saw him show up.
I don't know. I was so in love with Jimi Hendrix. I don't know.
So speaking of which, Jimi Hendrix, that's another person of African descent. And so are all these people that we've been playing, all the music, everything we've been talking about, because just to make the example that they took people away from their homes, away from their traditions, they were torn from their family and everything. But still, they arrived wherever they went, they managed to turn that around and made it their land. Really, if you think about it,
Yeah, they did.
the immigrants
They
are
make it-
always the ones who shape a country.
They have to make their own home. A home away from home. This is
Yeah,
what this is. A
I
home
mean,
away
if
from
the
home.
immigrants from Europe and elsewhere can come here and turn this country around, then what makes them think that African immigrants,
But
by
we did.
force or not,
We
can do
built
this?
this country. We have built this
Exactly.
country.
And not on rock and roll like that's so I'm saying.
Yeah, we helped build this country from the ground up.
Yeah.
That we did.
Yeah. And Cuba is just, it's I've never been there, but I would love to one day.
Yeah, me too.
And we all know about like Fidel Castro and the whole history of Che Guevara and everything, but a lot of people don't, when you go there, really it's just like you come here.
Yeah.
People think that maybe, you go there and they won't see any black people, but they're everywhere.
That's right. Yes, we are.
In a country that's mostly of African descent, they always try to find someone that looks the least like they
Right.
show here, but it's not the Cuban television that does it. It's
People.
yeah.
Yeah.
que contigo moriré, contigo me voy mi santa, te lo repito otra vez. Ay, tú me quieres
quiero sufrir. Contigo me voy, mi santa, aunque me cueste morir.
Black
Swimming out in the
Tears.
ocean.
Black Tears. Okay.
Okay. Speaking of swimming in the ocean. Anyways, a lot of people from Cuba have affected the world too. I mean, you have a lot of baseball athletes that are from there, not just Dominican Republic,
Yeah.
and a lot of great music. Definitely.
Let me ask you, Silver. Since I just found out that song was a Negro it means black
Negra,
tears.
yeah.
I mean, how do you,
Lagrimas.
what do you?
I don't know what
What's it called?
lagrimas means.
It's
I
black
think
tears.
Tears?
Black tears.
Oh, that is.
That's kind
That's
of
very
heavy
sad,
right
yeah.
there. But you know, because it's a lot of black tears.
Oh, yeah.
Have been shed and still people shedding. We shedding today. Okay, black
Exactly.
tears. Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
And this is a
Happy and
beautiful song.
sad. Yeah.
Omar Portuondo.
Los gardenias para ti, con ellas quiero decir te quiero, te adoro, mi vida. Ponles toda tu atención, que serán tu corazón y el mío. Dos gardenias para ti, que tendrán todo el calor de un beso, de ese beso que te di y que jamás encontrarás en el calor de otro querer. A tu lado vivirán y te hablarán como cuando estás conmigo, y hasta creerás que te dirán te quiero. Pero si un atardecer las gardenias de tu amor se mueren, es porque han adivinado que tu amor me ha traicionado, porque existe otro querer. A tu lado vivirán y te hablarán como cuando estás conmigo, y hasta creerás que te dirán te quiero. Pero si un atardecer las gardenias de mi amor se mueren, es porque han adivinado que tu amor me ha traicionado, porque existe otro querer. Es porque han adivinado que tu amor me ha traicionado, porque existe otro querer. Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame, bésame mucho, que tengo miedo tenerte y perderte después. Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame, bésame mucho, que tengo miedo tenerte y perderte después. Quiero tenerte en mis brazos, mirarme en tus ojos, verte junto a mí. Piensa que tal vez mañana yo estaré muy lejos de ti. Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame, bésame mucho, que tengo miedo tenerte y perderte después. Yo quiero tenerte en mis brazos, mirarme en tus ojos, verte junto a mí. Piensa que tal vez mañana yo estaré.
Okay, we're back. Is it true there was an earthquake last night?
Oh my gosh.
I heard
I was
folks-
awake.
I heard.
I was super scared.
Was it last night
why
or
we're
the night
so
before?
why we're so off
Schedule?
this yeah and everything? It's the earthquake. Yeah.
Was that about 4 something this morning?
Yeah, it was.
Didn't get
Yeah.
much sleep, so we
I heard it
apologize
was 1
definitely
in
to
the morning,
Cuba.
too, at about the same time.
Yeah. Anyways, this song right here is called Bésame Mucho. And well, in case anyone's wondering what that means.
Besa is kisses.
Kisses.
More
Yeah,
kisses.
Bésame and kiss me.
More.
And mucho, a lot. Kiss me more.
More.
More kisses.
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't have to tell somebody that, really. I mean, you should have to tell them, like, stop kissing. Kiss me.
Right. Oh my gosh. Oh my.
Kiss me more.
Oh, wait, every time I turn around, you want to kiss.
It's like, you should know. Okay. So, now, let's talk about, one thing I love to talk about, Cuban drinks and food. So, the mojito. I believe Chanel has a little recipe for it.
Well, I actually didn't find anything, but no.
Well, mojito is, I can tell you guys how to make a mojito. It's basically, it's like a type of, it's like a rum drink with mint leaves. They put in sugar cane the real sugarcane, raw sugarcane, a
Raw
stick.
sugarcane? Yeah, I love that.
Ice.
I like to eat sugarcane.
And you use some, like, you can use Sprite or 7-Up and lemon juice. And so you just with the rum in it, you just, or lemonade, and you just mush it all up. You crush the ice and everything, then with the mint in there, and then it's just delicious.
Sounds delicious.
And you can dip the sugarcane stick in it and suck on it like
Okay.
a
Really?
alcoholic lollipop.
Now I can go.
I'm not a drinker, but I sure would
what
try
I'm like.
that.
Yeah,
We should definitely make some.
But I don't mind singing the
We should make some and film it. That way we'll be ready for our. We should make some and film it.
Okay, you gonna make
And then we'll play the video for you guys on our next show, the second part of Cuba.
You gonna make it?
Yes, I'll make it.
Okay.
I'll definitely make it.
I got some mint candies at the house. I'll make sure I bring them.
No, mint leaves. No, you know what happens?
I'm gonna drop all my little candy in there.
I hope it's not Mentos. You don't have to drop Mentos into like soda.
It's
They
candy
explode like a geyser.
No, it's
okay.
candy cane.
Okay. No, just regular mint leaves. You put in. It's really good. But I can make you a virgin
Okay,
mojito
that's what you can
if you would like.
That's what I would like.
Yeah, virgin
Very much
mojito
so.
is delicious.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah. But Cuba is such a, and the thing is, Africans have influenced the food and everything. Of course, brought gumbo there, okra, just like we brought here. The food they eat is just so good. Plantains, fried plantains.
Yes, I make that occasionally, but I love to make plantains.
Yeah. And like, they even have a technique that they do the plantains where they fry them. They pick the ones that are not too ripe, and they smash them up. They crush them so they're flat, and they fry them and they're flat like bread. And then they make the sandwich. Like the real Cuban sandwich is not made with bread. It's made with the bread, but plantain bread. They make, you know how the banana's long?
Yeah.
So you just crush it like that, flatten it, so it ends up looking like a piece of toast.
Well, you gotta make me a sandwich.
Oh, we're making
Right.
that too. We'll make that.
You gotta make a sandwich and
It's
all that.
delicious.
So we might as well have a picnic on the show.
And of course, anything with pork, like what's in Cuba is just, delicious. They have great food there, and it's just a beautiful place.
Yes, it is.
Beautiful place.
From snapshots.
It's been through a lot.
pictures and everything. They have.
Yeah.
They've been through amongst a few countries, but they've been through a lot.
Did you know that Cuba has like a 99% literacy rate? Like they can all read.
Yeah.
Even the ones who haven't really been to school, like they can read. Isn't that crazy?
That's good though.
Because they're self-taught. Like during the 60s, they had these things called maquis. They're like these little around the countryside, like these little little restaurants or something like that, like a hangout spot, and they would teach people how to read. Like the ones that fought with Fidel Castro.
Okay.
Like they would hide out and they would teach the farmers how to read.
So that's almost like back in slavery days.
Exactly, hiding, exactly.
They would have to
But except
hide.
that happened in the 60s.
But I'm just saying, back then they had to learn how. They didn't have to. The ones that learned how to read had to sneak and hide to teach the other one.
Exactly.
And not let the massa know that they could read. Like they had to learn the alphabet, but they used to call them letters. They didn't call them alphabets back then. They called them letters. As long as you learned the letters, then they can put them together and you can make out how to read. Like the missus or somebody or the mister send them down the road, take a note to somebody, and then the one could read. They like teach their own self, and they can teach the next one.
Yes.
But it had to be done in secrecy.
My niece loves this song.
Yes. And we just played this song because we appreciate Lil Wayne
Yes, we
and his
do.
music, and voila.
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 Ah, boy.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm sorry for the fake. I told myself to save yourself, 'cause I can't save you. I send my goons to kill somebody. I need head proof. Fuck it. This the sorry for the fake. I ain't tripping. I got Barbie. I got Drake too. I send my goons to
find somebody, I need head proof. Then they come through and sit it on my coffee table. Ooh, who kept this shit together? Nigga, me, that's who. Who was there when niggas left us? Nigga, me, that's who. Cash money is an army, I'm a one-man army. And if them niggas coming for me, I'm going